Morning, everyone. So today my presentation is going to answer this question. How important is international trade to Los Angeles? And the short answer is very important. So let me explain why. First of all, Los Angeles has the largest seaports, ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach combined in North America. It accounts for 1/3 of total US container cargo traffic. And for the airport, LAX is the second busiest airport in the United States by passenger traffic and fifth largest one by air cargo tonnage. And finally, I want to say this, Los Angeles Customs District actually is the largest one in the United States. Its total trade value, which is $522 billion in 2017. And that accounts for 13% of the total trade value of goods in the United States. So let me show you the data. Here, these two charts shows the 10 largest customs districts by goods, imports, and exports value in 2017. So you can see three colors. So blue color in the bar represent the imports and exports value through water, through seaports. And the yellow color represent the imports and exports through airport. And the red color represent those through the land, through rail, trucks. So we can see, so on the left is the imports. So Los Angeles, this is Los Angeles. So you can see mostly we import our goods in Los Angeles through the seaports, which is about like $327 billion, a little bit airport, about like $60 billion, and followed by New York City costume. And then the third one is a little bit surprising, we don't see that, we don't expect that, is Laredo, Texas. So what's going on there is mostly the gateway with the trade with Mexico, okay? Auto, mostly auto and auto parts. And Chicago, and here, Detroit, okay? So also, again, also a lot of trade about auto parts, oil, and maybe some kind of steel with Canada, all right? So this is imports, and on the right is exports. So Los Angeles is number 3, but it's very close to number 1, New York City, and Detroit, number 2, all right? So here, let me show you the time series of the seaport cargo traffic over the past 20 years. So in this chart, the blue line represents the cargo TEU volume through this combined of ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach. So basically, you can see we got a tremendous growth in the late 90s and early 2000s. And it got totally disrupted by the Great Recession and had some kind of slow recovery. And finally, last year, our imports surpassed a little bit above the pre-recession peak. And the red color represents exports. So just like Jerry has shown you, basically over the past several years, it's flat, okay? So the difference between imports and exports, which is the trade deficit, and we can see from the chart, we see this kind of rising trade deficit, just like David has shown you before. All right, so however, I'm going to show you this as a totally different chart. This is LAX travel passenger traffic domestically, internationally. We see the tremendous growth over the past 8 years, from like 55 million a year to 85 million last year. So what does this mean? It means we are seeing booming tourism in Los Angeles, in Southern California. And when the international tourism coming here, spend money, we actually call it services export, right? Because we are earning money from the foreigner. So later I will show you how does that relate to Los Angeles jobs. All right, so here I'm gonna talk about how does the international trade impact Los Angeles sector jobs. So in the first column is the payroll jobs by sectors in Los Angeles County in December 2017. So basically, when we talk about trade, we think these two sectors are directly related to international trade, wholesale trade and transportation and warehousing. So let's look at the number. In Los Angeles, we got about like 230,000 jobs in wholesale trade. And if we look at this sector's job over as a percentage of the total private sector job in Los Angeles, which is 5.8%. So what does that mean? We compare to national average, which is about 4.9%. So it means this sector job is larger in Los Angeles compared to national average. And why is that? Because we got these seaports and airports. And let's look at the transportation and warehousing. Again, we got around like 177,000 jobs in this sector, and it accounts for 4.5% of the total private sector job, which is slightly higher than national average. So we kind of expect a little bit bigger sector in this one, right? So what's going on? So the answer might be this one. We look at the San Bernardino Inland Empire. This sector's job share as the total private sector job in San Bernardino is 9%, which is huge. So it means, actually, I'm going to show you in next slides. So because the length of the cost is so high in Los Angeles, so we got a lot of warehousing, transportation job related to the trade located in San Bernardino, not Los Angeles. All right. Okay, and information sector. This is very important sector to Los Angeles, as we all know, because of the Hollywood, because of the movie, TV industry export to the rest of the world. I'm going to show you in a minute. And it's 6.1% of our total private sector job, much bigger than national average. And the other one is leisure and hospitality, which is also a very big sector in Los Angeles. And we have seen a tremendous growth in terms of job growth in this sector over the past several years. And one of the major reasons is because the booming tourism and the increasing passenger traffic we see at our airport. All right, so right now I'm going to show you a little bit more detail for this transportation and warehousing job, warehousing sector. All right, so this is the job, subsector job share of that total sector. On the left is Los Angeles County. On the right is United States. So this one is air transportation, air support transportation jobs, like pilot, those kind of related to airport. And on the right is the United States. So we can see in Los Angeles, we got much bigger share of that. And this is water, seaports. So again, Los Angeles had a much bigger pie of that. And this is freight, logistics. Also, again, Los Angeles is larger. And this green one is, what is that? Is warehousing, okay? Los Angeles is smaller, and this is transportation, truck, those kind of driving things, smaller. And the reason is because the length of the cost is higher in Los Angeles, as I just said. All right, so right now we see this. Actually, it's not just about we are having larger sectors related to trade, but the job in this sector, actually, some of them are pretty good paying jobs. So let me show you the number. So this is the wage, annual average wage in Los Angeles. All right. So this is private, all private sector. It's around like $58,000, $59,000 a year. And you can see, what is this? This is water supporting transportation job. So what are they? As you might heard of that, longshoremen, those dock workers. Actually, they are very productive, and of course, there is some kind of union to support them, and then they got very high paid job, above $110,000 a year. And then it's also very big in Los Angeles. So we got 14,000 workers in this sector. So contribute to about like 1.5 billion total wage to our economy. And this is airport, air transportation and supporting. Again, it's also very high, $82,000. So we got bigger workforce, 24,000 workers. So totally contribute to 2.1 billion total wage to our economy. So with the high wage, high income, they had high purchasing power. So they are going to have a much bigger influence to our local economy. So they are higher than average. Okay, so we talk about goods, import and export. Right now, I'm going to show you the services. Actually, United States had the trade surplus in services sector. So here, I'm just give you an example, movies. So this is the global box office revenue over the past 10 years. So you can see on the top, this yellow bar represents North America. Okay, so basically, it's kind of the same in terms of revenue. And the rest are the foreign country, overseas market. So basically, you can see it has been rising over the past several years. In particular, the red bar, which is Asia Pacific. So most of the growth are coming from there. So we know this is very important to Los Angeles. So the calculation is export value of the movies and TV royalties in 2016 accounts for $18 billion. And I believe most of them come to Los Angeles. All right. So we talk about tourism. International visitor spending in Los Angeles in 2016 is estimated to be $7.7 billion. All right. So conclusion here, so international trade, we believe is more important to Los Angeles economy than to the national economies because Los Angeles play a larger role in terms of exporting, importing goods in seaports and airports. And also Los Angeles share a larger share of pie of services, export services due to the tourism and Hollywood. So finally, I want to say this. Los Angeles, of course, will benefit more from prosperous trade, and it will, of course, suffer more from a trade war. So let's hope we don't have a trade war. Yeah, thank you.